Right, what we're going to do today. It's been a while now since we did the last one, model railway one, wasn't it? I have been faffing about doing bits and pieces, but I tend to, I'm afraid, try and do too many things at once, and end up with not much getting done now. But I have started on the next video. I'm building a canal, kind of like a canal wharf thing on the layout for the train, the canal obviously, and the coal trucks, isn't it? Onto the canal, and then on the other side we'll have a little road where we can have some lorries picking up coal with coal yards. I quite like coal. Did a job once as a coalman. That was quite interesting. Hard work, I tell you. Blimey, hard work, mate. Anyway, so that said, there were a few bits and pieces that we needed to make for the wharf, and also you've seen the cottages, the low relief houses that I've made. I need to make some more of those, but in front of those, which will be on a raised section, will be a dry stone wall alongside the canal, a railway side dry stone wall, and some dry stone walls in other parts of the in other layer. I quite like dry stone walls. And I had a look at the price of actually buying them, stick them on, ready-made. They come in two categories. Extortionate is one category. They don't look too bad. And others which are cheaper, which don't look like dry stone walls. So I can't afford that kind of thing. So I decided to cast some myself, and there's one I made earlier. I don't know whether you can see that or not. Can you? Yeah. Dry stone wall. That's not bad, is it? Quite like that. You notice on the dry stone wall what we've got is we've got stones and a dark area between the stones, because on a dry stone wall obviously you haven't got cement, you haven't got mortar, and as such it looks as if when you look at it from a distance there's a gap between stones. This is 9 times out of 10 filled with lichen and bits and grasses and little flowers that grow out of them, which we'll be doing. But first off, what we need to do is to actually make the things. I looked around, and as far as I could see, the easiest way to make them was to buy a mould, a silicone mould, okay? I'll just put my seeing eye glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Show you the mould and have a look at it. Here we go. Right, I'll take that. Bang, bang, bang. Right, it's silicone, rubber. It's awful, horrible to feel. But it's got all the detail that you would want inside these 4 walls. Plus it's got these 4 bits here and 4 bits there, which are little, dearie me, that's small, isn't it? Little bits, little square bits, and they go between the walls, so one wall will butt up to it like that and go off on the other side. That's they build these to stop the whole thing from flopping over, so they're a little bit more substantial on the base when they build a stone wall. Like you here in France, when we lived, they built stone walls for miles without any of those. But seems to, yeah, these are included, so you might as well use them. Right, silicone moulds. You can make your whatever it is you're making out your mould. These are from what's this from? Scale Cast. Scale Cast people. Yeah, they do all sorts. I think they've kind of taken over. I'm not too certain. Kind of taken over from what used to be Linker. And I have a couple of Linker sets. So I've got a brick set, I think I've got a stone set. And when they first came out, they weren't extremely overly, I don't know, full of different designs and different ideas. They were basically for building houses with, and you could build some model railway stuff with them, bridges, stuff like that, tunnels, portals. But now, the Scale Cast have taken over the stuff which the guy makes, the moulds. Okay, some of them just basically railway biased, you know. Sorry, railway based. So there's kind of like loads for wagons and different other bits and pieces in his range, as well as the buildings and what have you. They give you free plans like Linker used to do. So it wasn't extortionate, this mould. So I bought one, and that way I can just keep, you know, if you do a bit every day, then you end up eventually with, you know, quite a bit of wool, and you can stick it all together and put it on your, it's not instant, is it? But you can put it on your track as you feel, as you go along, really, which is what we're going to do. So, are we going to cast in resin? No. If I was making something from a mould, which I was sort of moving around a lot, like these orcs and stuff like that, that people make and colour and paint and play with, or bits and pieces, you know, you keep touching and moving around. If I was going to do that, I'd build them out of resin. But these are out of plaster of Paris. Okay, just ordinary plaster of Paris, fine plaster of Paris. And they'll be stuck down, and I ain't going to play with them. I'm not going to jump on them. I'm not going to put an orc on them. They'll just be sitting by the side of the railway. So plaster of Paris is, as far as I can see anyway, cheaper and far easier for me. Alternative to resin. If you want to do them in resin, do them in resin. If you look on the guy's website, Scale Cast, he'll show you how to cast in both resin and plaster of Paris, these things. And he'll tell you the way around little problems that you may come across, which I came across. So, what we need to do is to ensure that we have all the kit in front of us. Obviously, we've got the mould, already shown you that. That's a glass jar, and marmalade. Well, no marmalade in it now. A measure, plastic measure. What have I got? I've got this here, which is water, but it's got a bit of washing up liquid in it. Alright, just a few drips washing up liquid. And a big bag of plaster. Right. For painting afterwards, I've got one of these little test pot things. Yeah? Little test pot of grey. In France, grey. Okay, that's the base. And then in this pot here, I've just got some kind of black gunk. It's just water and a few drops of black, which I've got hanging about. I don't know, weathered black or some other paint, acrylic obviously, not something that mixes with water to thin it out, and that is applied as a wash over the top after the grey's dried. We apply it to wash, and that's what makes it look a little bit better than it did before. So right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wash the mould, okay, before I cast in it. I'm going to wash it, and I'm going to wash it with a water which had a few drops of washing up liquid in it. Alright, I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to, I'll do all this off camera. I'll bring it all back and show you how we do it. I'm going to put water in that, okay. I know how much water I need there to how much plaster, because I've already worked it out, alright. It's about 100 bits of plaster to 40 bits of water. The water, again, has a bit of washing up liquid in it. This breaks that stops you getting those little pit holes in the mould. If you look at the website, as I said, he'll show you how to do it exactly. I sort of try and follow him as best I can. Occasionally you get the odd hole in it, which I shall eventually plant something, say a hole in the wall, you know, as I shall eventually plant a plant into. So I'll go over to the sink. That's what I'll do. I'll wash my rubber doofer, and yeah, I'll be back in a truss. Right, back. Right, about 40 millilitres of water with a little drop of washing up liquid in it, not a huge amount, and then that full of plaster of Paris. Now I've already put the water in the jar, and what I'll do now is I'll add the plaster of Paris to the water. Of course it goes everywhere, doesn't it? Right, that in actual fact, that is one of those things out of the, the measures for the washing, the machine that washes clothes, that one. It's a measure for that, for the liquid. So I use that so that I don't make up twice as much plaster as I need. Right? So we've washed the mould, okay, it's got a few drips in it, but right, we'll get those out. It's moist, and then we need to mix the plaster of Paris with the water, okay, which is what I'm doing now. Now, don't go at it like a bull in it, bull in a china shop. Don't go at it like a bull in a china shop. Just gently mix it up. Now, the reason why you don't get a sort of like an electric whisk on it is it shoves a lot of air in it. You don't want air in it, because air is bubbles. Bubbles, you get pock marks on your wall. All right. So it's about, I don't know, people say it's about double cream, is it? It's like that. Alright, as I say, that should just be enough just to fill the mould. Alright, so we've got the mould. If I put the camera down, you can actually, where are we? Oh, it's this one. Snobs and switches and dials and bing bongs and crawdads. There we go. Okay, you can see it now, can't you? Wonders of modern technology, isn't it? Oh. Ooh, look at that. Okay. Right, so we've got the we've got that plaster. Okay. Right, I'll take the spoon out of it for a minute. Right, and then just bonk it a couple of times on the something hard. That way, if there's any air bubbles, they'll come to the top. Which they are doing. Okay, next job, to fill the moulds. Okay, just do it one at a time. I must admit, a jam jar isn't exactly the easiest thing to pour from. I tend to keep pouring from one end. And just watch it slowly fill the mould until it's almost there, and then just continue to the other end. Same with this last wall section. See the air bubbles in that coming out. Alright, and then we'll do all the little end wall squares. Don't worry about it being over the top at the moment, because it actually does shrink a bit during the drying process. Alright. So just don't worry about the water on top. You'll see a bit of water come to the top as well. Don't worry about that. Okay, right, so yeah, that's not bad, is it? Not bad. Haven't wasted much there at all. So the point of the exercise is to leave that until it gets to a kind of what would you call it? A mousse consistency. All right, and then when it gets to a mousse consistency, I have an old knife which I then draw across the surface of the mould, making it nice and flat. Okay, nice and flat, so that the bottoms of the bottom of the wall here is flat. That's the way up, like that. Okay, so that's what you're doing when you're drawing your knife across. Right. One thing I didn't do, which I shall do now, is just to give the mould a little shake, like that. Any extra air bubbles that have been trapped in there come to the surface, which there's some there. Right, so that is that. So we'll leave that to one side, okay, to dry. As I say, I generally just make those walls once a day. Now once you've got them out, you need to make sure that any of the what you call flash, which is the stuff that's left on it, okay, after you've taken it out of the mould, the bottom for instance, may need cleaning off a bit. Do that now before it gets absolutely rock solid dry. You need to just with a knife proper knife, not one of these. I do one of those yellowy knives. Just run it along the bottom like that, just to take the edge off it. Okay. Right. Then the next step is the grey. So what I've done with this is I've actually watered it down a hell of a lot. Okay, watered it down a lot. Right, so I'll just put that there. Any old something to put it on after I've painted it. Okay, so I've got the wall. I think in actual fact, you make sure make sure they're dry. Okay, before you paint them. I'm trying to sort it out. Yeah, I'm fiddling about at the moment. I have to stop fiddling. Get on with it. Okay. Right, here we go. So taking the edge off, okay, with the knife. Taking the bottom off with the knife. Alright. And then we just need to splash a load of grey paint on it. Get it everywhere. Get it in all the cracks, all the crooks and nannies. Alright. Get it in all the holes. The air holes that you've got, alright, which you're bound to. Sorry, inevitable. Alright, can you see that? I'm busy painting it, not looking at the camera, see if you can do it, see if you can see it. Colour the ends, right? The underside doesn't really matter. We'll colour the ends. Go on top, make sure that the top's perfectly covered. Alright. Roll that down. Go. Sorry about that. It's a bit like watching paint dry, isn't it? That's better than watching somebody unboxing a pair of shoes, isn't it? Sorry. Or perhaps not, I don't know. Or talking about the latest makeup that they got. Right. Right, that's your wall, okay? So that's all grey, that's painted, okay? I've used acrylics so I can wash my fingers, wash my paint off my brush with water. And then, when that is perfectly dry, it's just a case of brushing on the very, very dilute black to go in the crevices. Okay? Now, I don't think I'm going to put the greenery on it. I don't know yet. I'll see. I could maybe put a little bit of green or, tuft some stuff. But it's all ready now, realistically, really, for putting on the railway, isn't it? So, perhaps next time I'll take you upstairs, as it were, metaphorically speaking, show you the railway. Show you the railway. Wow! Oh, that's my right eye, that. That's good. I can show you the railway upstairs, show you where we've put the canal thing. Show you where the dry stone walls are going to go, and then do it, and then stick them on, I suppose, really. I'll show you some bits that I bought the other day, some little car, little standard 12, I think, Flying 12 it was called. It was one my dad had. He had an Austin 10, and then when that rusted away to nothing, we had a standard Flying 12. It didn't fly, but it was nice and black. So I bought one of those the other day, little little car, I'll show you that. Some nice coaches. I did see some coaches the other day for 70 odd quid. But I bought some for six quid instead. LMS. They're rather nice, 6 quid. Can't help that, can you? That was online, one of the biggest online things. And then a couple which I got from a trade fair, not trade fair, one of these shows over in England when we were over there for a week or so, about a month ago. Went and had a look at some trains running around in circles. Pretty good. So I bought some bits there. And, I bought a static grass. I can't afford one of those big shaky things. You know, they're extortionate, aren't they? Very expensive. So I bought a puffer bottle and some static grass. And I'll be testing that out. See if I can use that. And we put in new lights. I bought some more lights, so I put in some yard lights on the railway. Anyway, till we meet again. Yeah, I've got to wash all this up before it sets, I suppose. Yeah. So until the next time. Yeah. And what? Yeah. What else? I mean. Just to show my wife that I'm a complete and utter anorak. I collect stamps. See you soon. Bye bye.